Hello, and welcome to the newest episode of the Blue Collar Racing Podcast. We got a real treat for you guys today. We got guest Hunter Coffey in. So tell us about you, Hunter.
So I'm 22. I've been racing in the diesel industry for probably about 3 to 4 years. It all started with the gray truck, my second gen. It's a 2000, and it was originally VP'd, and I got it from my cousin, and it had 6x20 it was 9x11 injectors in it, and a 369 turbo. Nothing special. I think it had like a fast on it, and I played around with it a lot, and then it kind of just upgraded to a little bit more intense and more intense.
And isn't that truck a P-pump 24 valve now?
Yeah, so originally I kept the VP, and I didn't want to go P-pump, so I upgraded to the Shide Stage 2 and did bigger injectors, did 6x20s and a set of compounds. And it wasn't what I was looking for, so then we ended up going P-pumped and a little bit bigger compounds.
Nice. I'm actually in the middle of the same swap. I had a VP truck with a Mike's pump on it, and that went out. So now I'm getting ready to swap over to P-pump. And don't you have would it be a 590 truck built?
Yeah, so Fire Punk built it. It's a third gen. It's a 2007 that I picked up out of Pennsylvania. All the paintwork and everything was already done when I got it, and I pretty much just took it straight to Fire Punk, and they did a roll cage in it, and D&J did the engine for it. It's their Enforcer deck plate engine. They did the wiring on it. They did the AEM data logger for it, so that way we actually have data to go off of. That was one thing that we really fought with the second gen. We didn't really have no way to look back and see what it was doing going down the track and how everything was staying happy. Everything was just kind of a guess whenever we were changing stuff.
Yeah, I understand that. How many times have you took that truck out since you've gotten it back?
The first event we went to with that truck was Diesel Truck Wars, and that's put on by Chris Parker, and I'm pretty sure he's buddies with another gentleman. We took it there first, and then we had a bunch of small events with it. We took it to King of the Street, and we just entered it into the no prep so we could get some more seat time in it. Just a bunch of like little events with it, and then we took it. The first big event we took it to was Rudy's at the Rock, and at the time previous to that, we were having some troubles with keeping the transmission happy because it's so heavy.
Is that truck street legal, or is it a full dedicated race truck?
No, it's still street legal. It still has a full exhaust. The AC still works. Still has 2 seats in it. All the factory stuff still works.
All right. And what about your silver second gen? Is that still street legal?
To an extent, the only thing I would see not being is the hood stack, but besides that, I mean, I still drive it around. I don't really drive it too far because the P-pump doesn't really like to get driven around on the street too much.
Understand that. And then you guys just got done with a UCC build?
Yeah, that was definitely a fun learning experiment. We picked up the quad cab from Justin Ziegler, and we kind of tossed the idea around of just putting an engine in it and going and running it in 590, but then we had the black truck, so we were like, well, we might as well go a little further with it, and we dropped that one off at Fire Punk, and they redid the cage and put the funny car hoop in it and everything, and they swapped it over to the Bosch system. It had the AEM system in it too, and they put the Enforcer in it from D&J as well. That's a deck plate, except for the only difference between that engine and the engine in my black truck is that one's set up dry.
What kind of turbo setup are you running on that?
So for drag racing, we use a single 98 millimeter. It's a Garrett.
All right. Are you guys planning on doing anything else with that truck? Like, are you gonna be drag racing it, or is it gonna be used for more competitions? Are you planning on going back to UCC next year?
Most definitely. We want to hit UCC a couple more times. That one, we kind of didn't really have a whole lot of seat time when we showed up. We had only had the truck a week previous to getting to UCC, and we got one pass and a 100-foot pass, and that was it before we showed up. So we had a lot of learning to do.
Definitely.
The next event will probably be Diesel Truck Wars if we don't find nothing in between there. We have a couple small, like, no prep events and stuff like that we'll probably take the Black Third Gen to.
So what was it like competing in UCC?
That was definitely like the next level up from the small events that I started going to. And I feel that all the people that you're competing with, even though that you're competing against them, like, they're still really good people. Like, if you needed something, you could go over and ask them, and even though you're competing against them, if they have it, they'll still help you. It's just really good people.
I'm sure. It's definitely the big event of the year. I feel like it gets a lot of attention. How'd you guys do at UCC?
So we took first on the drag race, second on the dyno, and then the sled pull, I'm pretty sure we were around like 5th, 6th place. We made some changes for the sled pull, and I think we need a little bit more practice for the sled pulling side of things. Maybe try and do like some single passes around our hometown just to get the sled pulling setup more figured out and get more comfortable with it, find out what gear ratio we need.
Have you ever done a sled pull before then, or was that the first time?
No, so we've pulled my black truck twice, and the gray truck we pulled it once when we went to King of the Street and did the dinosaur camp. So I'm pretty sure that was like the 4th or 5th pull I've ever did.
So you're still relatively new to pulling.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. And how was I've heard that dyno out there is a difficult dyno at UCC. Is that true?
I wouldn't much as say difficult. I feel that Cody, the guy that's working, I feel like he really knows the dyno, and as long as you listen to him and y'all get your goals met before you whack it, I feel like it works out pretty good. It's definitely a really nice dyno.
That's awesome. What kind of power numbers did you put up?
So we did 2,400 and some change. I can't remember the exact number. It wasn't what we were looking for, but we had some difficulties. There was a lot going on, and I didn't notice that lockup never came on.
Uh-huh. What kind of power numbers are your goals for the future of the truck?
We would like to see 3,300 to 3,400 next time we get on the dyno, but it's definitely a lot going on at once.
I'm sure about that, and I imagine the prep of getting everything ready to go to UCC is insane.
Yeah, I think it takes us about 4 days of loading stuff up. It feels like we take the whole shop when we leave.
I'm sure. So what got you into racing?
So my cousin used to have an old 12-valve P-pump truck, and I used to go with him to some of the small events in our little hometown whenever he would go, like, testing tuning and stuff, and it was just different. I liked the diesel racing. I mean, I've been to a lot of gas drag racing and stuff, and it never really caught my eye like the diesel side of it did. Watching him do it and whatnot, that's probably what really dragged me in.
Yeah. Around about what time did you get into it?
Ooh. So probably about 4 years ago is when he stopped doing it, and there was probably like a like a year gap in between of me just tinkering with it, trying to figure a lot of it out. And then it just kind of escalated more and more.
I gotcha. And where are you guys from?
So we're located in Warrenton, Virginia. It's like a hour and 10 minutes right outside of D.C.
Nice. So you guys had a lot of events on the East Coast and stuff.
There's a couple small events. I would say mainly all the big events are out towards Indiana, Ohio. There's a good event in North Carolina that we love going to. That's Diesel Truck Wars. And then King of the Street is out towards us. It's not bad. It's like a 4-hour ride.
That's not bad. Yeah, Truck Wars that's where I started racing, and that's my favorite event, and that's probably the closest one to me. I'm only about an hour from Truck Wars.
That was the first diesel event that I ever went to. I did some testing tuning and stuff just to get the feel for it and try and figure everything out, so that way I didn't show up to the first event and not know anything. So
yeah, it was actually the first event I went to. I went to it in I think it was 2018 or 2019, and went out there in my what's now a tow rig, and I was actually in the show and shine, and my buddies talked me into taking it down the strip. I went down the strip, and I was like, yep, I'm hooked. And then I ended up buying a truck just to race, and it started as a ET truck, and now I've pushed it down to 670s, and excited to see where it'll go with the P-pump swap and see if I can push it down even faster.
that's definitely how it starts. I think we were happy with 770 for a little while, and then we were like, well, we want to go 670. And then we went 670, and then we wanted to go 590. And then we wanted to see how fast we really could go.
Yeah, that's how it always goes. And your black truck, that runs singles elite out there, right? Or is that compound?
No, it's compounded. It has a 85 on the manifold and a 98 out front.
Nice. And what kind of fuel setup you got on that truck?
So it's dual 14 mil pumps with extra G 400% overs.
Nice. So that truck definitely puts out some good power too. It's just a weight.
We did 2112 when we dynoed it at Fire Punk, and we could still turn up the nitrous and turn up the fuel. Probably make a little bit more, but we wanted to be a little conservative with it because we wanted to go racing.
Yeah. And that truck's still pretty much full weight.
Yeah, that truck is right at 8,000 pounds.
Yeah. It's hard to have a full weight truck go fast. It's just hard on all the parts.
Yes, it is. And the suspension side of things, we're still stock suspension. The only thing we have is Caltrax and new shocks. That's it. No 4-link, no coilover shocks.
I bet it's a way different from being in the black truck compared to the UCC build.
Yeah, the black truck doesn't leave nothing like the white truck. We got to get it all out the back, or it doesn't like leaving the line too hard.
I'm sure. I know I had that problem back when I was pretty much stock suspension. I couldn't leave but so hard. Then I did some suspension work. I could leave hard. And then this past off season, I 4-linked and back half the truck. So I'm really excited to see what it will do moving forward.
The 4-link is definitely a huge game changer. You can feel it when you're coming off the line, and it's so happy going down the track with the 4-link compared to the stock suspension.
Yeah, that's what everybody's been telling me. So I went ahead and bit the bullet and cut the frame off and just start building it. We'll see what's going to happen.
It should do good.
I'm hoping so. I'm thinking that truck only weighs about 4,700 pounds with me in it. So I think I got weight on my side.
Yeah, that's for sure. I'm pretty sure my second gen is like, I want to say it's like 6,500 pounds still.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Because I think mine, the day I bought my second gen, I put it on scales, and I think it was 7,100 pounds, and that was completely stock the way it came. So
So
sounds about right.
the gray truck doesn't really have too much weight savings. I mean, the center of the center of the bed is gutted, and that's really about it for weight savings. And then we still have two seats in it, a center console, a full dash. It doesn't have no AC.
Yeah, I ditched all my interior, my bed. I got fiberglass bedsides. If I could save weight, I pretty much did it. But I was racing the VP for the longest time, and pretty much to get a VP to get fast, you just gotta cut weight.
Yeah, I'm super stoked with Drew Carter. Drew Carter has the VP truck, and he's really got his gutted down, and it looks good, and it goes 670 pass after pass, and it's happy.
Yeah, he has a very nice truck. He's a good buddy of mine. He's actually gonna be on the podcast in the next few weeks. But his truck is, he got a good setup going for him.
I'm trying to talk him into the P pump, but he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, I've talked to him about it before too. And I mean, I was the same way. I wanted to stay VP as long as I could, but when the VP went out, I was looking at prices of keeping the VP or just going ahead and swapping it. I knew I wanted to get faster, so I just went ahead and swapped it.
What size pump did you go to?
13 millimeter. I actually found a used pump with a 13 millimeter industrial injection pump that a guy had on a pulling truck, and he was swapping to a 14. So I was able to get it for a good price.
It's a good size pump. That's 13 mil is the same size pump that's on my second gen.
I was gonna buy a new pump, but the cores, nobody has cores right now. So I was battling the core problems, and then I found this one that was pretty much ready to go. So I was like, well, I'll just go ahead and get this one and see what happens.
Yeah, I bought mine used, and luckily I lucked out. Nothing was wrong with it, and it was in good condition.
Yeah, this guy, he sent his back to industrial. I got the flow charts, all the info from industrial, so I'm confident in it. He did the work on his end, so I'm happy with it.
Yeah, you just never know when you're buying something used like that, and when they send it back and get it checked out, clean bill of health. It's definitely a good feeling whenever you're buying something like that.
Exactly. Now I'm just waiting on a few parts to come in to finish the swap, and then my injectors, I just sent those back to Ducky, waiting for him to have those switched over, and then to pop those back in and hopefully get the truck moving under its own power again.
What will be your first event for your truck once it's back together?
I'm sure I'll hit a test and tune locally. I'm not sure. I know I'll be at Truck Wars Fall. We're actually going to have a vendor booth out there, and I know I'll be there with the truck. I might try to hit something. Original plan was I was going to go to Pennsylvania and go to East Coast Diesel Nationals. That's in like 2 weeks, I believe, and I don't think I'll have the truck ready 100% to make that drive.
Is that just parts? Haven't got enough parts yet?
Yeah, I'm just waiting on a few things, the throttle linkages and stuff like that. Everything seems to be on back order, or I've ordered it, and I'm just some stuff will be here this week, and then I just gotta actually get working on the truck, and I put the front case on it. I just gotta put the pump on it yet, and front cover, and reseal everything. Yeah, I'm trying to find motivation to do it. What events are you guys planning on going to the rest of this year?
So I know we're going to go to Diesel Truck Wars. We're going to hit King of the Street with my black third gen. And then we're going to try and hit a couple more of the ODSS races. And I know we want to go to the East Coast versus West Coast in Texas. So that's all the big events. And then I'm sure we'll probably find a couple little weekend events here and there as they pop up on Facebook.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the same for me. I know I'll get Truck Wars, and then I'm sure I'll find some small events to go to and just try to get some testing on it. Hopefully next year I can actually go to some big events and see what it will do.
The ODSS events are definitely really nice events.
Yeah, I did, what year was it? I think it was 2021. I hit a good many of the ODSS events, and they're ran good. They're always good competition. I enjoyed it a lot.
Definitely well organized. I feel like they give you good cool down time in between rounds, and everything kind of stacks out perfect.
Yeah, that's the only problem with some of these small events. They get so disorganized at times. You're hot lapping the truck. You're confused on who's in the lanes. You're getting up there, and then you sit up in the staging lanes forever. And places like Truck Wars and the ODSS stuff, they have everything figured out so well that you enjoy the event so much more.
Yeah, because it's so much smoother. You don't have to worry about, once you get up there, what's going on.
Yeah, I went to an event last year. They called us to the line. I went up and got in staging, and I sat in staging. There was, I think, 6 trucks with me. It was towards the end of the day. We sat in staging for like an hour and 15 minutes. It was insane how long we just had to sit there waiting because they called us up way too early.
Yeah, I'm sure stuff like that makes you not really want to come back to.
Yeah, it was a small event. I think it was the second time they ever did it. I would probably go to it again just to see if they made changes. It's just one of them things. You know, it was fun. I made it to the final, got edged out, came in second place. But it was a good event. It was hot. It was damn hot that day, and I was having major issues spooling the turbos because I wasn't running nitrous that weekend, and it was a struggle. But everybody was struggling that day, so it wasn't just me. It was everybody. So it made basically the competition was whoever could figure out how to do stuff with the weather.
Yeah, the weather definitely plays a big game changer in it. When we were at the Rock, we were running pretty close to 590, and then it cooled down in the evening, and we ended up breaking out. We went like 580 something. It was like a 589 or something. It just went that little bit faster.
Mhm. And we were also up in Pennsylvania in the hills. So I'm used to racing in Virginia and North Carolina. We really don't have to worry about the altitude. You start getting in like Pennsylvania and stuff, and you're up in the hills. It makes a big difference.
Yeah, that and with the stage limiters and stuff, because I know we went testing right here at our local track in Warrenton and got all of our stage limiters set and everything for what PSI boost we wanted to leave at, and then we went to an event and made one test pass, and the stage limiter was leaving at a different pound boost, and then it just dawned on us. We were like, oh, well, the air changed, so.
It's a lot of stuff. And just when it cools down towards the end of the event, just tire pressures and everything just play a big factor in it. And you just kind of have to adapt as it happens.
Yeah, we have a huge list that we go over before each pass, and it works out pretty good for us. I got a good team. They definitely take care of me.
That's good. Isn't most of your team your family?
Yeah, so my cousin owns After Hours Automotive, and he comes along with me. It's him and his partner. It's Tyler Gray's my cousin, and Tony's his partner. Them two come with me, and then my dad, and then besides that, like my mom and my girlfriend come. But mainly the only ones that are hands on for the truck is just me, my dad, and my cousin Tyler and his partner Tony.
That's awesome. I like seeing race teams that it's family based and everybody can come out there and have a good time. And
Yeah, we definitely make it a good time. We're always grilling something. That's the big thing that my mom does. She's always in charge of the food.
that sounds about right. My mom does the same thing. My dad comes out, or my wife comes out, and we have a good time. I got a couple good buddies that come with me, and
Yeah, I would say mainly the best thing that ever helped us would probably be the checklist, because it's in the heat of the moment. It's so easy just to miss something.
yeah, it really is. I'm a big fan of doing checklists. I do one for at the event before I even go racing. I have one before each pass. I have one just loading when I load my tow rig up and my trailer up, just to make sure I have everything.
It definitely makes it a lot more easier because we get there. I think we have 3 different checklists. We have a before pass, once we unload it checklist, and an after pass checklist, and we just go through them all, and it usually works out pretty good for us.
That's good. So, like truck wars and stuff, how many do you take? All the trucks out there, or do you just pick one, or how do you do that?
So the last couple times we've went, I've brought both of my trucks, the black third gen and the gray second gen, and the gray second gen I usually put in 670, and the black third gen I put in Outlaw. So this coming year I'll probably bring the quad cab in the second gen, and I'll probably put the second gen back in 670 because it does 670 effortlessly and it's happy. And then I'll probably put the white truck in the Outlaw class, and hopefully we do good.
Looking forward to seeing you out there. I know I'll be out there, so hopefully we can get together at some point and check out the builds in person.
The white truck is definitely an eye catcher. Firepunk and them guys, they did an awesome job.
They always do. Every truck that comes out of there is just amazing. They do a great job building trucks.
They definitely put a lot of time and effort into it, and they think about it whenever they're doing it.
And just their builds that they have on their own are insane to see in person.
Yeah, it definitely the photos, it looks good in the photos, but once you see it in person, it's just so much different. All the good stuff that went in.
They put a lot of time into their builds. So how can people find you? I'll tag you and everything I can when I do the posts for the podcast and everything. Where can people find you? On Instagram, Facebook? What all do you have?
So I have Facebook, and it's just my name. I have Instagram, it's just my name. And same with TikTok. I have TikTok. I always post videos of the trucks and stuff on there. And that one's just my name too. So if you just look me up, Hunter Coffey, on all of those, and you should be able to find me pretty easy.
And I'm sure one of the listeners might have a question or two for you. You okay with people asking you questions about the builds?
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, I'm always open for answering questions and stuff. I mean, whenever I was first getting started, I had a lot of questions for people too, and there's a lot of people out there in the diesel community that were always willing to help me. So if someone ever has a question and I can answer it, and if I can't answer it, I can usually point them in a good direction.
Do you have a tip of the week for us?
Tip of the week. My biggest tip of the week would be take your time, because whenever I first got started, I would always go up to the line and I'd be in such a rush, I'd always forget something, or I would always mess up, and it would always be something little. It would always be something so little, but it would always take you out.
I've been victim to that, and I'm sure about everybody that's ever raced has been a victim of that.
It definitely took a lot of my dad and my cousin and all of them always telling it to me, take your time, take your time, take your time. And I'd always get all rushed and I got to hurry up and do it. And I'd always mess up at the line or forget something. And now that I listen to them and actually just take my time, everything usually goes just a little bit smoother.
All right, well, I'm definitely excited to see your trucks in action soon, and wish you luck in future events, and hopefully see you back out at UCC next year.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely be back out at UCC, that's for sure. That's a really good event.
I'm hoping to make it out there next year. I might not have the truck, but I definitely want to go to it. It's one event that I have not been to yet that I'd like to at least go spectate.
It's definitely a good event. There's always good action.
Definitely. It's always something going on the whole day. All right, well, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to be on the podcast. And until next time, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you letting me do it. I appreciate the experience.
Well, that ends the newest episode of the Blue Collar Racing Podcast. Everybody go give Hunter Coffey a like. Ask me any questions you got, and give us a like and follow. And until next time.